Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps podcast. I've got my fellow hosts, Darragh, who's back, luckily not so black and blue because of the loss, and Jacques, who seems to have just made it by the skin of his teeth today. Funny enough, we were talking about baby teeth now. I don't know. Apparently, Darragh needs to get one out in May. And of course, the Stormers, who at least won kind of comfortably, though not that great. But yeah, we'll get into that. But Darragh, how you doing, man?
I've been better. I got the news the other day that I have to get my last baby teeth pulled out of my head in May. So that's not fun. And I'm finally back on talking terms with my girlfriend after 4 days of no communication after Friday night.
And Jacques, how are you doing? I mean, your girlfriend must have almost died, and then you guys almost dying as well. I mean, your whole relationship seems to be just 1 point.
Yeah, well,
South Africans in 1 point wins. Not a...
No.
In the famous words of Vin Diesel or Dominic Toretto, whether you win by 1 point or 100 points, winning is winning, eh?
Isn't it?
But otherwise,
but anyway.
Yeah, but we just have to modify it a little bit. But otherwise, I'm good. I've got a rugby tournament on next week, so I've taken leave at work. So
next week or this week?
I don't think no, next week.
Next week, so April. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is your girlfriend going to be there with you?
No, unfortunately not, because it's during the week. It starts on Sunday and ends next week Saturday.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. But since we're talking about
how are you doing? Stop. How are you doing?
8. We're in the top 8
he's
now.
Balding. So midlife crisis. He's balding. That's how he's doing that.
It's the current season we've been having.
Old spot. There we go. There we go.
I need to get a baby tooth pulled and you're bald. Wear a cap or something like that's embarrassing.
I wear a cap all the time. But yeah, it's all the stress from watching the Stormers season right now. But I'll bring up
I should be about 84 supporting Munster then.
Yeah.
And Tottenham.
But let's actually get into this whole dynamic of the week. I mean, as you guys can see here, we had one hell of a weekend, and we started off with the Cardiff going up against the Lions. Yeah, I didn't quite watch the game, but I saw some of it. It just looked like there was a point that the Lions just gave up. And looked like they were coming back, but then gave up in the end.
Well, they got held over.
Yeah.
Held up in the 81st minute, which is harsh. And I didn't watch it either. By all accounts, the Lions were actually the better team for the majority of it. But winning's a habit, losing's a habit. Cardiff have that winning habit. The Lions probably don't.
Yeah. And then, as you can see here, we got...
I see nothing. I only see your face.
I only see my face. What the hell happened here now?
You're scaring the viewers.
Let me do this quickly.
You are so amped. He's got this new way of sharing things, and now.
There we go. Now you should see it.
Yes.
Really,
yes,
you have to pick him. Really?
No, I actually just got this from one of the groups, so that's why it wasn't my decision. It came up this way.
You could have checked.
You can do the next presentation. So if you want to put who you want there, then you can do next week. How's that? And you can follow my format.
I'm busy next week.
Now you're busy. But anyway,
I'll send you videos.
Yes, please do. I'll make a compilation and put it in. This is Jacques refereeing. Anyway. Then the one I don't think Darragh wants to talk about much unless he wants to talk about Glasgow Warriors, so he doesn't have to have another 4-day hiatus from his girlfriend.
Let's talk about it.
No, no, I don't think that's quite necessary now. You're beating a man while he's down type thing. Uh, Today is the first day I haven't cried since Friday night, so I suppose that's. The day is still young though. There's still only been 18 hours. There's 24 in one day. But
Is that from the abuse from your girlfriend or just the fact that you lost?
I'm telling you, no, I didn't respond to a message for 4 days. I've got 100 and how many? I opened 178 messages yesterday since Friday night. And about
Oh,
25 calls, some of concern. I think she thought I went missing because we're not in the same school.
so did we.
Yeah, that's. I became active when I thought the Sharks were going to lose to Zebra, and then I kind of disappeared again. But no.
But I must say
Wow.
thank you for both of you guys to keep me up to date while I was watching rugby. Well, club rugby, and you just updating the score for me. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I don't know how Munster lost that game. Better side for 65 minutes. The half backs were outstanding. The back row was outstanding. We had them by the neck. We were 11 points up with 12 minutes to go, and we did the most Munster 2025 thing of all time. Dominate every area of the game, have more possession, more territory, be ahead in the scoreboard, and because our coaches are shit, we lost. Because we have a defense coach who's won his awards like he's student of the week in primary school, and our head coach couldn't motivate a dog to bark at the moon. We lost. I'm still angry. I went on Twitter. I don't know. I don't think any of you read my Twitter, and I think it's better if you don't go on to the Munster replies because I had a pretty inducing rant on there.
You often do.
I
It's on
wasn't happy.
Facebook and on Twitter. Sometimes I go like, oh.
Not that often. On Friday, I was so annoyed. I lost my head. I smashed my remote off the floor and broke it and lost the batteries. So I had to buy new batteries on Saturday. And I went to smash my phone, but my friend grabbed it out of my hands.
Good.
So that's all that needs to be said, really. I wasn't very happy. I'm still not happy. I don't think I'll ever be happy. And it wasn't helped by the Glasgow bandit typed on Facebook, cheaters don't win. Now, it did have to be helped that someone took my phone because I saw that the next morning. But if I had seen that at the time, oh no.
Yeah.
Harsh words would have been exchanged.
But let's talk about the one that's actually a little bit surprising. Jacques didn't lose to Zebra. The Stormers haven't lost to Zebra.
No. Zebra should have won.
But they didn't.
I was waiting for that.
They didn't.
All the Sharks had was the scrum. They had no weapons, no attack, no defense, playing like tiddlywinks for 65 minutes and just mash the scrum option and win.
Listen, I will give Zebra the due diligence in this game. They played an amazing game. They came to play. And the Sharks, unfortunately, as Sia said, it was an unacceptable performance from them, especially with the fact with the game that they're having this week, which I'll show later. And
a full spring, like the whole of those boys, the 8 starting players in the pack could play for the Springboks very realistically. And Italy's second side and the second worst team in the URC should have beaten them in Durban.
Yeah,
that is why I'm so annoyed. And I can see the face on him, the smug face, because they got away with murder.
Yeah, quite literally. It wasn't a chomping of the zebra, as I said last week. It was literally like a. eh. They
It
were
was Tom
Ethan
getting.
Hooker.
It was Tom getting scared by Jerry, is what it was. If only Manny Nibok could have had that final kick. If only. In a perfect
Ethan
world.
Hooker. Ethan Hooker probably saved the day with that try.
And the conversion was quite good as well. But as
Yeah.
I said, if only Nibok taking the final conversion.
I got some news about him. But anyway,
Zebra would have won.
I feel very sorry that I couldn't watch it. Sorry that you guys had to send me the updated scores and
no, you're
all that.
not.
Yes,
But,
it wasn't. You wouldn't have had to apologise if Zebra won. Trust me, I would have gotten joy from said to do the score which Zebra had out of that.
Like I got the joy when I saw the Munster Glasgow score.
Don't you go there. Don't you go there.
But I mean, before you guys start getting a bit too in each other's throats, then there was a 21-18 win from Benetton over Edinburgh, which was actually quite surprising for me. But I do think Benetton didn't deserve it. I did
Benetton,
actually. Fine enough. I only got one prediction wrong this whole weekend.
And it's that one.
No. That one. The Bulls versus Leinster. That was the one I got wrong.
By all accounts, in the Benetton-Edinburgh game, Benetton should have lost. And from what I watched, Benetton should have lost. So, fair play that they didn't lose. And Edinburgh, I have a personal vendetta against the whole of Scotland this week. Because Edinburgh have been rubbish before they played us. And rubbish after they played us. But played the game of their lives against us. And don't even get me started on that stuff. Just don't.
But yeah, then the game that I only watched the final 10 minutes of. My lord, what a final 10 minutes!
At least we weren't the only ones to bottle it, and in fact, they bottled it harder because they had a scrum and they just needed to win it and kick the ball out.
Nazim Khan thought he probably lost the game when he knocked that ball on. And then that scrum hit. And I was watching. I'm like, here comes a powerful scrum from the Bulls. And as that hit, and they just drove over that Leinster pack. Funny enough, I saw...
there was literally... Did you see the yellow card for the Bulls?
Yes.
I mean, Leinster got every decision they could have and lost. And Snyman could have got a yellow card for...
And there was a red card as well. Don't forget the last 10 minutes.
No, that was a red. Yeah, well, like in the last play it was, but that was a red card. There's no defensive pass.
Nothing wrong with that call. It was well looked. I mean, the ref did good. He did a good deciphering of the whole thing. He first tried to see if he was impeded. When he saw there was no impedance, he said it was a clear run. He took out the play in the air. That was straight red. There was no trying to hold on. Sebastian de Klerk had no excuses for that. And the fact that he's probably going to have a citing hearing, or he's going to be, I think, 3 games or maybe 6 games, he'll be out. There's nothing you can do about it. He needs to take it on the chin.
Well, in the end, I of course enjoyed the humorous battering the Bulls got to give Leinster online. That's always funny, but that's a shocking performance from the Bulls. Because say what you want, that's not Leinster full strength team, and Leinster should have won. That is if they own it. What? They won't, because they're playing us in Limerick in April, and they're going to turn up like prime South Africa. But please, just play like that against us, please. But they won't. Yeah. No, they'll turn up and play like South Africa did in the 2019 World Cup final and blow us to bits, because of course they will. Why wouldn't they? Although,
I see
we haven't lost the Bulls in 3 years.
I see Brian O'Driscoll's crying about Jacques Niebuhr right now, saying Jacques Niebuhr is the reason why Irish rugby's collapsing. I didn't read the whole article because I'm like, how the hell can you blame it on one person at one club where you still have another 3 other clubs? But yeah.
It's because they neglect players from the other clubs, the Irish national team, and they just pick Leinster players.
But that you can't blame that on the coach at Leinster. You need to then say
it's not his fault. It's just saying it's poor selections from the RFU.
Yeah, but you know what? Oh, well, whatever. Then the game that I was up, down, left, right, and so happy for at the end. One of the only 2
cheers
teams
for Kirby. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hooray!
And that puts us
Hip,
in
hip.
8th place. Hooray! 8th place.
Hip, hip.
8th place.
Another hooray.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. To be fair, it is an impressive win. Clonethley is a hard place to go, and that's how you pronounce it, by the way. Clonethley. And
listen,
it's a hard place to win. And look, it was as strong a Stormers team that you could have put out. And despite the attempts of Marius van der Merwe, who had a Malcolm Marr, Stan Sheehan-esque performance for the Scarlets, play out of his skin.
I was stressing about him. He was having a game of note, and I think that's also part of the reason why the Stormers in the last 15 minutes were able to run away with it. It's when they took him off.
And some of the Scarlets' backs had quite a good day, but
yes,
then again, a lot of the Stormers' backs had quite a good day. Good to see Feinberg and Gamazulu back playing,
and Damien Willemse.
And Willemse is back. But,
I had to say that.
Not to the amusement of Jacques. Not the amusement of Jacques. But the Stormers looked a lot better than they did when they played in Dublin 6 weeks before with a full team and got beat. And credit where it's due. It's good, solid, powerful performance. Probably dominated for 50 minutes and 20-ish minutes, and the Scarlets looked like they might nick it. But other than that, it was kind of Stormers deserved to win it.
I mean, there was a few calls that I thought were maybe a bit, but when you hear the crowd jeering at the refs, I think he did do a good job at not allowing the crowd to intimidate him. But those commentators were a bit messed up. I mean, they were like, oh, it's a 50-22. But I'm like, didn't you see them pass the ball backwards? Anyway,
it actually wasn't on. It actually wasn't on Irish TV. It wasn't on Irish TV. So when I watched it back, I watched it back on the Welsh channels. So I couldn't understand the commentary.
Oh, okay. It was Welsh commentators speaking English.
For what we had to watch, what I had to watch was on S4C, which is the Welsh channel in terms of it's in Welsh. So I couldn't understand what they were. Well, you can understand bits and bobs because I'm fluent in Irish, but not a lot. Yeah.
Then the next week, a bit of a surprising result, but
Ulster won a game. Ulster won a game.
But I was expecting Ulster to win because, like I said, my Super Brew predictions I only got one wrong, which was the Leinster game. But I was expecting Ulster to run away with it a bit more.
Yeah, the Dragons were great.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't watch it, but yeah.
They scored after, well, I watched this, they scored after a minute and they were well ahead. They should have won. It's a typical case of, as I said earlier, losing is a habit, and the Dragons just found a way to lose that game, which they had no rights to lose, and Ulster had absolutely no rights to win. Ulster got very, very lucky against the Basement Boys League. It's a win. They needed it. But, I mean, that's concerning. How bad they were is really concerning. And
Jacques, did you notice how you got excited because Ulster won? Not the Munster result or anything. You got excited because Ulster won.
This is the bonus of having three teams. One of them should win, and one of them is guaranteed to win this weekend because Munster are playing Connacht in Castlebar.
Don't you have 4 teams? Or you're just happy because you got
Not
3
Leinster.
teams that you support?
Not Leinster.
Oh, you don't support Leinster. Okay. I'm with you.
No, I actually actively support who plays Leinster.
Yeah. But then, talking about another Irish team.
I hope both sides lose.
Then we got another one, which looked like probably a bit of a game of the weekend with the 43-40. It's great. I'm so happy for I'm so happy for the Ospreys. I mean, the Ospreys are the only team so far in this whole league to have lost to the Dragons. The only win that the Dragons have comes against the Ospreys. But at least they were able to hold off Connacht at home, which for them is probably a good result considering how it started.
It's a mad that was a madcap game. I mean, if I don't know if you listened to the Black Feather or I had a talk with in the comments of with Sam and Rodri and Mark were in my Twitter comments, and I think there was multiple strokes had in the Swansea area towards the end of that game because Ospreys had the game won. They were 24 points up in the second half. They tried to do a Munster. They tried to lose it. They had a forward in the backs in the last 5 minutes because of injuries, but they snuck it. And, thank God I didn't see the end of this live because I was at a match for a different sport, but it was nuts, just a nuts game. And as I said, both sides tried to lose it. Connacht tried to lose it in the early second half, and Ospreys tried to lose it by the end. If you're 24 points up in the second half, you probably do deserve to win. So I can only say if the Ospreys were the better team.
But let's just say the ultimate winner of this weekend was rugby. There were some nail-biting games, games that made me pull my hair out, even though I didn't need to.
You don't have much of it left. You'd want to keep on to that.
But moving on to this week, where we start off with Edinburgh hosting the Dragons. I mean, they have thrown up some stats for the past 10 games that they've played, where Edinburgh have come up on top 80% of the time, and 3 of them have actually been away. But now you got the Dragons coming to Edinburgh, and the Dragons haven't won away. So, I mean, we can definitely say that Dragons are definitely not taking this one home unless they pull an absolute luck of the Irish, luck of the whatever you get in Scotland, everything, find Nessie and all that to win.
Look at the Loch Ness Monster. That's what that is.
Yes, yeah. But so I mean that's I don't know what you have to say about that, Jacques. But
foregone conclusion, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Then Edinburgh we go on. There we go on to a very interesting game. 9th versus 8th. Oh. Ulster versus Stormers. Stormers have beaten Ulster 3 out of 4 times, but never away.
Stand up for the Ulstermen. Stand up for the Ulstermen.
And why, again, why Damien Willemse on the picture?
Because that's BKT, not me. You can take BKT. Anyway.
Stormers, because even though Ulster won on Saturday, they were dreadful, and they've been dreadful recently. So as much as it hurts me to say the Stormers, but I think Stormers will win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Stormers. I know Jacques is probably going to go Ulster just because he's got Willemse on the picture.
Correct. I'm going for Ulster.
Me and you both, Jacques. We're supporting the same team for once.
You said Stormers. Go mad. Go away.
I don't want to say. I just Ulster are terrible, so kind of.
But you did. But you did say it. So I'm going Ulster.
I'm happy to be wrong.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Come on,
Zebra,
Zebra.
my boys. Zebra. Excuse me, what?
Come on, Zebra.
Come on.
Are the Bulls going to
I'll
trample
do
over
with you.
Zebra? I have to go with the Bulls.
Let's just hope.
If the Zebra, by the sounds of what you guys were talking,
Let's just
If
hope
they
Jock's
play-
girlfriend never gets my WhatsApp number. Let's just hope that. I think I'm gonna have some seriously negative messages.
definitely. But
No more
if
negative than what I
Zebra
get.
can play, if Zebra can play the way that they did last week, I think the Bulls can struggle a bit.
Listen, it's going to be tough. Bulls cannot underestimate Zebra, but I do think the Bulls, with the experience, are going to pull through.
Well, if
And
realistically,
if
if
the
the Bulls,
scores,
the Bulls want to finish second in the table, they have no option but to win this game with 5 points, don't they?
Mm.
They have a very tough trip to Europe because they have to play us, Munster, Munster, and
it's not a
Glasgow
challenge.
at Scotland. So they have to play.
But talking about you, we have 12th versus 6th. Connacht versus Munster. Munster have come up on top.
Connacht boys!
And Connacht.
A rivalry split in my family down the middle. Rivalry. I'm going to it. The first time they've ever played a match at this particular stadium. And we're going to spoil, Munster are going to spoil the party.
Yeah, I'm going to go Munster on this one. Of course, Jacques is going Connacht to pull your leg. But yes, I'm going to go Munster with this one.
I'll lost my voice box next week if we lose to Connacht. I can't get on the pod next week if we lose.
Then we got Scarlets hosting the Ospreys. With the way Ospreys are playing right now, it's going to be a tough game, especially with the fact that they're away from home in a Welsh derby. But I'm going to have to go with Ospreys for this game.
I'm going to contradict you, despite the fact in recent times, particularly around Christmas time when they played in Swansea, the Scarlets have a habit of making sure they lose this derby despite putting themselves in a position to win. I think Scarlets will win. Connectley is a tough place to go. It's packed, or it's nearly full, I think. And I think it's about time that they finally win the West Wales derby again. But I do think they'll lose in the Challenge Cup to Ospreys when they play in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
But I'm sure every Ospreys fan will take losing that game on Saturday to win the Challenge Cup.
But now here's an interesting game. Leinster versus Sharks. Leinster have not beaten the Sharks at home. However, Sharks do need to step up from what they did this week because they cannot expect the same treatment as they did from Zebra.
Sharks. I think Sharks would be better. And yeah, I think they'll win. I think they'll win by 7.
Listen, I refuse, Jacques, refuse that you, Darragh, say the Sharks must win. You will say Leinster wins so that I can say my team can win.
No.
No, you're going to say draw.
My hatred for Leinster runs deeper than my rivalry with you, buddy. So the Sharks.
I feel the friendship here. I feel the friendship.
Don't.
It's 3 for Sharks because I also think the Sharks are going to do it because they've been very vocal this past week in the media saying that they cannot expect the same thing to happen this week. They're going to have to step it up. But moving on, Benetton hosting Cardiff. I do think Cardiff is going to take this game. But I do think it's going to be tough. I do think it's going to be tough for Cardiff. It's not good. Cardiff cannot underestimate this game. They're going to have to go in as if they're playing against Leinster or the Bulls.
Yeah, I think it's very tough place to go to be so, but I think Cardiff just have that habit at the minute of winning games they definitely shouldn't win, but somehow manage to claw them through. So I'm going to narrowly go with Cardiff. I think they'll narrowly pull this one out of the bag.
Jock, Benetton.
A
draw.
A draw. Okay. As you can see, according to the stats.
Say I've lost a bit of respect for Benetton Treviso because when I was in Italy, I went into a Benetton shop and they are the most overpriced. It's ridiculous how expensive those shops are.
And then the final game of the weekend,
Lions, come on the Lions, vamos the Lions.
Are you sure you want to go down this way? Because it is a 50-50 between the two of them. The home team has always won. So
yeah, Glasgow. I expect Glasgow to win. And I kind of have to support them. I'm going to have to get over my crying session sooner or later. So I'm going to go with Glasgow.
How are you going to do this with the Betty's father?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Let's go Glasgow.
That's another three. But yes. So they
sounds like a more South African male version of my girlfriend saying that, and I don't like it.
But here's the current standings right now of the table. Again, it isn't closed yet. It's still open. I mean, number 13 all the way up to number 6 is literally 4 points difference. I mean, that's a one game that can change the whole aspect of everything right there alone.
Yeah, well, you still say between 5th and 14th, anyone can be in and anyone can be out. So, if you were to ask me for my predictions now, Munster, I think, will get in there. I think realistically, Munster need 3 wins and we've 3 home games. So I think we'll win them.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the Stormers will get in there. If I'm not mistaken, Ulster is their final league away match.
Something along those
By the way, I'm cutting off the top 4. I'm saying the top 4 are guaranteed. Well, the last game outside South Africa is Friday night, which I think the Stormers will win anyway. So I think the Storms will be in. Then I think the Lions will do it because they also have the home advantage.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm going to go with one of the 3 Welsh sides. I cannot decipher between who, but they all play each other, and whoever comes out on top on those derbies will finish in the top 8, in my opinion. I just don't know which yet. Most likely Cardiff or the Ospreys, but it's most likely Cardiff or the Ospreys. But if the Scarlets can beat the Ospreys on Saturday, they also really put themselves back into that mix. So whoever does better in their own derbies between those 3 will get to top 8. I just don't know which one that is.
Yeah. And here's the interesting thing that I found. The team of the week, according to the fantasy points. No Stormers.
There's actually a Munster boy in there. Is that Tom Ahern?
Yes.
Oh, hey, we're represented.
Yeah, I mean, you got 3 Sharks in there.
4 Sharks.
4 Sharks. Ethan Hooker was put as
4 Sharks.
But yeah, I mean, well, the surprising thing is no Leinster and no Connacht as well. But yeah, you want to see something really interesting, and I actually find it pretty cool. This is the comparison to last year and this year's round 13.
Well, Jacques, we were fourth this time last year. We finished top. Shame you're not going to do that because you're shite. But just thought you should know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were fifth. We were sitting at eighth. I mean, your top three is pretty much the same as last year. The real improvement from the last year is the Sharks.
Down
Who have
10
gone up by-
places.
Yeah, they've gone up 10 places compared to
Whoop,
this
whoop.
time last year. Ulster
The
have just
real-
gone down.
Yeah, Ulster have gone down.
Yeah.
As,
Dragons and
as the
Jags are all
Lions.
the same.
The Lions have also gone down a good bit.
Yeah, I mean, they've
We-
also gone down, but they're not
eighth
the
to
only one.
13th.
Yeah, they're not the only one who went down by 5 points. I think it's Connacht as well.
Oh, shit. Bennett
No,
is
it's not
also the
Connacht.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Bennett's-
Benetton got top 8 last season.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is the comparison from the last two seasons, or this season and last season, which I thought was actually quite interesting. And I'll try to do this again next week. So we can actually keep an eye on it, because I think this is actually quite interesting to see how the league changes and how it's compared to last year and how much changes there has been. I mean, Edinburgh as well. So now, that's the other team that's dropped the same as the Lions. It's Edinburgh, literally from 6th to 11th compared to last season. I mean, look at Cardiff as well, from 12th all the way up to 5th. I mean, they had a phenomenal season compared to last.
Yeah. Well, last season Cardiff were picked up 6-7 losing bonus points, something mad. So they've flipped every game by about 8 points, and they've gone from 5th.
No, but I mean, yeah. I mean, some of the news that's come out is, I know there was a big bidding war for Jacques Vermeulen to come to South Africa, back home, but he looks like he has signed a 2-year deal with the Sale Sharks. Edouard van der Merwe looks like he's
Joseph Dwebbe has gone to
Exeter Chiefs, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Edouard van der Merwe looks like he has signed with the Sharks here.
Why would he do that?
Sorry, bless me.
Why would he ruin his career like that?
He needs to take over from the outgoing Makazole Mapimpi.
Yeah, from the Lions Den to the goldfish tank, it doesn't really add up, to be fair, but good luck to him.
Marnie Lubbock, I know you guys don't really care too much. He is apparently in talks with clubs in France, England, and Japan.
Okay,
England, as far as I know, is Leicester Tigers.
You didn't say Munster. Okay. Never win a game by goal kicking again.
Yeah,
but there was a article that I saw, I think it was yesterday, where one of the guys said that the French and England sides, they're not interested. He's more interested in going to Japan.
I'm doing what the rest of the Springboks do: play 4 games a year.
Hey, it
and
works.
Get mega bucks.
Yeah, and it works for us. So
and you play against people of your size. Sorry.
Maybe that's why we know how to win.
Playing against under 13s.
Maybe that's why we know how to win, and Wales doesn't.
Oh yes, he said Wales.
Maybe that's why Japan knows how to get into quarterfinals as well. Too bad they end up like Ireland.
Hey, get to. You said get to. We get to them. We get to them.
Then they copy.
Whatever happens in them, we get to them.
I still remember when the Japanese league was taking off, and I think Andries Becker went there, and it was the funniest thing I ever saw. A line out, and Andries Becker just stood there going,
Yeah, I remember that.
They didn't even need a jump. They all like jumping up and making towers, and he's just like, "Thank you, thank you." But yeah, then like you said, Weber going to Exeter Chiefs. So I mean, that is something. I still haven't heard
South
it.
African rugby.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope he doesn't get to play against Munster after his last experience of playing Munster. He said something very weird on the video. We're going to fuck them up, yeah, and then the final a week later.
Okay, I need to put a PG warning in now. Thank you.
Just bleep out what I said. It's a direct quote. It's educational, kids. I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest person watching. My girlfriend's older than me. This makes no sense.
Yeah, I still haven't heard who officially is the Wales coach, which I know they had an interim coach until now. They still haven't heard.
They're looking at taking Matt Sharak again for the Japanese tour.
Then they might as well just give him the. The thing is, now's when you want to get a coach in because it's 2 years until the World Cup. And yeah, though, did you hear the AI prediction for the next World Cups until like 2067 or something like that?
Will we have finally won a quarterfinal by then?
No, you finally won one in the 2063 or something like that. I'll be 54.
I'll probably be dead. 2063, I will be. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'll be 54.
But South Africa and New Zealand still dominate.
Wish. No. What age should I be? On this maths, my head is going 20. Is it 2063?
Yeah, 2063. Yes. So
I will be 55. I'll be 55.
40 years. It's 40 years from now. -2, so it's 48 years from now.
I'll be 55.
Okay, there we go. I'll be like 79 or something.
74.
I'll still be younger than you then. Like, yeah, I know.
We'll be in our retirement years. Like he's starting to start planning for retirement.
I still won't be paying into a pension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, it's actually quite exciting what's coming out now and everything like this. And it always starts hyping up now, especially when you start getting to the end of the year. But Van der Merwe, who is at the Scarlets right now, is actually part of the lineman camp. And based on his performance on Saturday, I will say, hands down, he deserves a spot. He definitely
even against Archie's playing Georgia in the summer. So even if he played against them or Italy,
I believe he deserves it.
A test is a test. When you play Namibia or Swaziland or something, if you play a test for your country, it still counts.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he could play. You should be giving guys like him a chance against Georgia or Italy.
100%. He scored 2 tries against Wales last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's this?
Van der
Merwe, who plays for the hooker for Scarlets.
No, the hooker for the Scarlets, not the guy for Leinster.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Edwin Van der Merwe.
No, Edwin Van der Merwe is part of the lineman camp, which means he's probably going to play.
Yeah, but he's a bit more seasoned.
Tests.
He's definitely going to play against an Italy or a Georgia. I'm talking about guys that probably should. That might
I don't. He might play 1 or 2 games there, but he's definitely going to be playing in the championship this year. Like I said,
so he'll be playing in the championship
while you were still hiding. Like I said last week, while you were still hiding. I have a sneaky suspicion Russie's got a plan up until 2031. It isn't just a straightforward plan. I saw Nick Mallard has now done a comparison of France compared to South Africa with the tactics that they used in the Six Nations. the fact that they basically copying the SA playbook right now. It isn't even unique, even though Northern Hemisphere goes it's completely unique. It's not. It's the South African playbook.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess France are playing the strategy if you don't beat join them because France are like this Six Nations and well, awesome. It was France finally got over their mourning period after the World Cup. I mean that last Six Nations 23 was 24 was France essentially mourning the fact they didn't win the World Cup at all. But now they look like playing off that form and they've beaten the All Blacks in the autumn when they were probably not as good as they were during the Six Nations. And they have South Africa in Paris in November. On this current form, I'd say they could win a World Cup if they were to put 3 games together like they did against Italy, Ireland, and Scotland. Well, maybe not Scotland as much.
But this is the problem, and this is what everybody has an issue with. The French getting all hyped up and everything like this is they do all this stuff. They look great in the Six Nations. Then all of a sudden it comes to the outgoing tour where they go to a Southern Hemisphere country. And because they more concentrate on their top 14, they slip down the rankings and they look like it was all for nothing. So, I mean...
Yeah, but the world, let's be honest, the world rankings don't matter unless the World Cup groups are being seeded. The world rankings... You can laugh all you want. They genuinely don't...
Should I rewind to what happens when happened when South Africa lost to Argentina in the championship?
I don't think we should. No, I don't think we should.
Someone was really like, "We're number one."
We were the number one ranked team in the World Cup in the world rankings. Did we win the World Cup? No. Did it mean we were the best team in the world?
Sean's holding his back as well. Listen, world rankings. World rankings.
We were ranked. Yeah, but we were ranked above France before we played them in Dublin 3 weeks ago, and they smashed us. It doesn't matter. Anyone in the top 8 or 9 in the world can beat each other, regardless. Like Argentina can beat South Africa. Argentina are probably fit. Scotland on a very good day could beat South Africa. Or whoever's 8th in the world. I don't know if it's Scotland. If it's England, they definitely can be South Africa on a good day. Whoever's ranked 8th in the world could be the number 1 team. And number 2, the team 3 team.
That's the whole thing. Is I reckon the rankings is just something that we can use as a base. Yeah, as a benchmark. It's not what you can rate your whole game off of. Hold on, I'm busy getting the rankings now.
Yeah, and then the top 8 can beat each other. Then from 8 to about 12, those sides can beat probably up to about 5th in the world. So Georgia could beat Scotland, or Georgia could beat Italy, and
so here,
or Fiji can beat Wales.
Yeah, but Wales are about number 25th in the world these days, Jack. I mean, come on.
There's the top.
Fiji are right ahead of them.
Yeah. So there's the top 10 right now, as it stands.
Yeah, but what my point is in the last couple of years, Fiji have beaten England. England have beaten France. Shocks. Italy have beaten Scotland. Like all these teams could beat each other in the top 10. But Australia have beaten most of them. Australia in the last 5 years have beaten Springboks, Argentina, England, Scotland, New Zealand.
I think they beat New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah, they've beaten since the 2019 World Cup. They've beaten 1-2. They haven't beaten us. Yes, they've beaten France. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and they've only played Italy once.
Yeah,
number 8 ranked team in the world.
So I mean, the as I always say, the rankings. Even when we were number 1 before, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're number 1, sweet, okay, cool, boom, high five, move on. It's more of a benchmark, so you know what you're kind of going up against. But the thing is, you can never like suss out a team. Like, okay, cool, here we go. I'll bring it up again probably some other time where I'll bring up during the series that come up later where you guys play whoever when we play against Italy and Georgia and stuff like that. I'll get the graphs
We're
up.
playing Georgia. We're playing
Yeah.
Georgia and Portugal in the summer.
So I'll put up how many times you've played Georgia, how many times you've beaten them,
I think
what your
I think we're playing.
what your win loss draw ratio is in a pie chart and everything like that. And I'll do it for South Africa as well because it'll be quite interesting to see. Because I mean, like I said, out of that top 8 list, I think the worst with the winning percentage, excluding Fiji, is Australia with 45%.
Sure.
I don't know what Italy is. I couldn't get down to that far, but I mean, South Africa is sitting at 67, New Zealand 72, 73%. Ireland and France is 51, 52. Argentina is sitting at 55 or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't underestimate it.
Ireland's win percentage, you have to take that at base level. In the 1990s, for 10 whole years, Ireland and Wales played for the wooden spoon. They lost 3 games a year, every year, for 10 years. And they only ever beat each other in the 5 nations before Italy joined. So that's 10 whole years of being crap. And every time a team toured up, every time New Zealand came up, every time Australia came up, we got hammered. So 10 years, we were crap. Useless. And before that, if you go back to the 1960s...
I don't think anything has changed.
Why are you covering your face like you say that?
Who won the last time we played South Africa?
Who won the World Cup? Who can get? We're
talking about head-to-head records. We're not talking about the World Cup. We're talking about win percentage, head-to-head records.
You said last year, so 1-1. It was 1-1 last year.
1-1.
Beat you at the World Cup. Beat you in Dublin the year before that. We beat you in 2017, which was the time we played you before that.
Who can get past the quarterfinal in the World Cup?
But as I said multiple times,
who has the most controversial
quarterfinal is boring, not necessary. Everyone's
who has the most controversial try?
Which one?
It was Ireland. That one time where John Smith was told to give the team a warning. He said, "Can I ask the team? Ask the ref? Can I talk to the team?" He said, "Yes." He turned his back around. Ireland go, "Can we tap?" They go, "Yes." We scored a try. While South Africa's all bunched up. It was Ireland. I think it was a Driscoll.
Ronan O'Gara.
Oh, Ronan O'Gara. That's right. Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, it goes both ways. England,
before you were born, don't worry.
The World Cup final 2007, England's try that wasn't swings and roundabouts.
It wasn't a try. The foot was out.
Go ahead.
Yes.
And as well, we got robbed in 2007 because we.
But it wouldn't have made a difference because we still would have won.
France played Scotland to win the Six Nations. They won it on points difference. They scored a try that was never a try, but typical referees, Paris, we can't let them lose in Paris when it's a big day and they're under the lights. Get them to try, won them the Six Nations. Swings around about it. And it was actually a fella from the north gave that, which is the worst part. It was an Irish fella that gave it. Well, an Irish fella. A fella from the north gave that.
See, so don't blame the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. But talking about Southern Hemisphere, big news that came out in the Springbok camp this day is NTN and South Africa have officially parted ways with being the sponsor, which is a bit surprising considering the state that the Springboks have. I think, yeah. But now there's talk about F&B coming back into the picture. Eh?
It's sponsored by De Beers. They have a company 20 minutes in a different town, 20 minutes from my house. My father used to work there, De Beers Diamonds.
Yes, South African, yeah.
Sponsored.
Yes. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be F&B again with with the surprising sponsor, Pick and Pay, as the back sponsor.
I saw Pick and Pay got the logo on the Blitzbokkers jerseys today.
Yes, so they're saying that is a preview to what's coming on the Springbok jersey, which is the Pick and Pay will be at the back, the back sponsor, which is a bit surprising to me, to be honest. I wouldn't have expected it, considering the financial issues.
This also starts, and I want to get your thoughts on it. What is the best sponsor ever? Like the best, coolest looking jersey sponsor? Because I saw a photo. The best one I saw was in London. We can't see you. You're cutting out. When did you do that? The best one I saw was a London Irish jersey from 20 years ago, and it was literally just a pint of Guinness on it as the sponsor.
The best jersey ever. Cool. Best jersey ever will probably have to be either the Captain America Bulls one.
No, I'm on
the second. No, but the whole look and everything was the best. And unfortunately, I have to say it's the Lion Spider-Man one.
I did also like the Wales one when they were sponsored by the company called Brains, where if you ever watched, they actually won Scotland the last 5 nations. Scott Gibbs scored an unbelievable try at Wembley to beat England. And that sponsor is just iconic because of that moment. Because typical Wales, typical everyone playing England, they denied England the championship and still won the wooden spoon just to win Scotland the championship.
Yeah.
But the last one I'm going to say is the Irish permanent one, where Brian O'Driscoll scored his famous hat-trick in Paris with the Irish permanent TSB, which is a bang.
Thank you. You just reminded me. Apparently, I read now, I think it was Sam Warburton says the Welsh Rugby Union needs to look at cutting one of the teams, and instead of having 4 teams in the URC, only has 3 teams. However, if that does happen, I think that's where Bernie Eccleston's going to step in with London Irish and make London Irish the extra team to make it the full 16.
They will, sure. Although it does also depend if the RFU don't take them to court, which they could.
It's Eccleston. You're probably not. Is it Benny? No, sorry, Eddie Jordan. Why am I saying Eddie Jordan?
No, it's not Eddie Jordan. It's Eddie Jordan passed away on Sunday, so it's his son. I think who's now the head of consortium.
Oh, she's okay. I didn't know that. Rest in peace, Eddie Jordan. Flip.
Although, that's the thing with Eddie Jordan, I suppose, is one thing I want to address is because he's proper Irish. Like, I know he was trying to prop up London Irish, and I see a lot of people saying he's a legend. He's British. He's not. He's a dub. Eddie Jordan was born and raised in Dublin, and he moved to London at the age of 17. So, another proud Irishman, Eddie Jordan, and his son, as I said, is apparently now the kind of new chair of the consortium because they knew he had pancreatic cancer, which he died of. They knew he had that. So his son is just kind of taking it up, and he also wants to bring them into URC. So
but if Wales had to go with that idea of cutting one team, I think that's where they need to reach out to Jordan and say, like, listen, can you fill in? Here's the terms and conditions and everything like that. And if so, cool. Great for London Irish, the fact that they literally got shut down due to administration and everything like that, due to financial issues. I know the likes of Ben Loader, he's officially going back up to England as well. I'm not 100% sure who he's signed with yet. I have a funny
feeling. London Irish are a kind of iconic team for obviously made by Irish expats in London. They're iconic because a lot of great Irish players played for them. I know Keith Wood had a stint with London Irish for a while. They had a lot, like Gordon Murphy was over there as well. There's a lot of Irish expats played for London Irish. Simon Easterby played there for a bit as well. So it was kind of, the RFU would take them on as a feeder club, We can produce so many players who don't play for provinces. They just chumped them over to London Irish. Andy.
But I
So,
mean,
negative.
that's probably the best idea. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that idea, whether or not they do it, whether or not the new coach for Wales or director of rugby for Wales has the same idea. We'll have to wait and see because, like I said, there's a team literally knocking on the door who wants to join. It would be silly if they're cut to go, oh, we're only going to go to 15 teams. I would just say, like, listen, there's the team. They want to come in. Let's make sure it's in
Even if London Irish can't join, there's lots of teams in mainland Europe who are knocking on that door want to join the URC. Not from the tradition. I mean, you're looking at the likes of there's teams in Portugal, Spain, and Georgia that have the money. And
otherwise, we need to look at going a URC Cup and a URC plate. So if you win the plate, you can come and play in the Cup. Whoever's the last two, like Zebra and Dragons.
Yeah, well, they have a thing called the Rugby Europe Super Cup, which consists of teams from. There's always one team: Georgia, Romania, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Czech Republic have one, Belgium have one, and so do Israel, which is probably the weirdest country in that list. So it's the Black Lions is the one you'd have heard of course, playing Challenge Cups. So, but there is clubs in Spain and Portugal. Probably, if you're looking at cutting down distance times, that they would happily get it.
Well, I mean, there's a huge opening market, and we have to see how it goes. It might also help breaking up the URC into different things, having them so you give them an advantage, you get the teams better opportunity to play, and lowering the time that we play, because beforehand it used to be like 8 to 10 months of rugby for the Southern Hemisphere players. Now it's literally 12 months. You're literally playing every single day. It is a proper job now, whereas beforehand it was, okay, you played Super Rugby, you might play Currie Cup or whatever in New Zealand and Australia, and then you played international if you were good enough. Now it's like, okay, cool. You literally play from the time you end the season to the time you start the next season. So yeah. But anyway, I think we should cut to there today, guys. Fellow champions, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let's share this thing even more. Jacques, it was great to having you. Please send us pictures and videos of your tournament you're in, and I'll see if I have time to edit it into something. And I'll send you a link for music, and then you can choose if we can put the music in and everything like that. Darragh, it's great having you back. Hopefully you won't be too dead from your girlfriend from comments that you made tonight.
I'm getting out of the way tomorrow because I'm meeting her after I'm done school, so I'll get it all out of the way.
Clap your hands if she's next to you, because you seem to be looking over your shoulder. No. Okay. All right. Fellow champions, cheers. Goodbye. Be safe.